I am recording, but if you need to come on to tell me something or feel free to do so. I will just edit that part out of the video um, and listen to your body. Only do what's comfortable for you today. Um, Come out of a pose if it doesn't feel good, if it doesn't work in your body. Come into any kind of resting shape that you wish, and then join us again whenever you're ready. This is completely your practice. I'm just here giving you ideas. Right. So let's take a moment here to clear away anything that we don't need during our practice. So just noticing what thoughts are popping into your mind. Perhaps you're still thinking about your day or thinking about things later that you wish to do, need to do. Maybe there's been some negative self-talk happening in your mind. Whatever is there, whatever you don't need. I invite you to imagine placing that on a cloud and watch the clouds slowly drift away in the sky. If any thoughts come into your mind that you don't need, find the next cloud that comes into the sky, place the thoughts there, and allow them to go. We're not engaging with them, we're not pushing them away. We're allowing them to move at their own time. Okay, our breath practice for today is square breath. So in our square breath, we have equal length of time for all four parts of our breath. So that is the inhale, the pause, the exhale, and the pause. So let's just take a few deep rounds of breath to clear everything out. So take a deep inhale in through your nose, and then exhale, let everything out of your lungs, everything out of your diaphragm. Let's do that 2 more times. Deep inhale. If you want, you can make some noise as you let everything out. One more time. Deep inhale. Let everything go. So just returning to your normal rhythm of breath. And this is what we're going to do. And I can count you through it for the first few rounds, and then I'll let you kind of practice it a little bit on your own. So our 4-part or square breath, we will inhale for the count of 4, hold for the count of 4, exhale for the count of 4, and hold for the count of 4. All right, so everyone taking a deep inhale, let all the air out. And then inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Keep going. If this feels like it's too fast for you, you can add on another second or two, or maybe make it shorter, but staying with that equal part breath all the way around in that square. Notice if you're holding tension in your body as you breathe. Try and soften. Especially the shoulders and in the face. I invite you here to maybe add one more second onto your time if that's comfortable for you. And then add one more second if you can. So finishing this round of breath wherever you are, and then returning to your normal breath. As you return to your normal breath, I invite you to notice the pauses between the inhale and the exhale, and between the exhale and the inhale. Our yoga practice is one of mindfulness. Our very first line in our Yoga Sutras, which were written 2,000 years ago or more, we don't know. The first line is, and now the practice of yoga. And now being present, focused, and not allowing, for anything else to take over this time that you have set aside for your practice. So noticing those small moments, the pauses in between, be mindful. And we'll return to this as we go throughout our class. So I invite you to take some small movements here in your body. Wiggling around fingers and toes. Maybe you take a big stretch. And then perhaps you hug both knees in towards your chest, rocking from side to side. Okay. So from here, we are going to come into a wind relief pose. So both feet come down to the earth. Let's hug the right knee in towards the chest, activating the right foot. If you wish, extending the left leg long. Noticing where it feels more comfortable to send that right knee, maybe to the chest or to the armpit. Maybe it feels better to make some circles here in the knee. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus all on one side. for our hips. And then we'll focus on the other side. And then we'll do some shoulder things. So a couple more rounds of breath here. And then placing the left foot on the earth if it isn't already there. Keeping the right foot active, crossing the right ankle over the left thigh. Let's draw the legs in closer, grabbing a hold of somewhere on the left thigh if that feels comfortable for you. If not, keeping the left foot on the earth and maybe just using your hands to push that right thigh away. So there's nothing else that you need to do during our practice. There's nowhere you need to be, nothing you need to change. This is time for you to be present, to check in with your body, your mind, and your heart. To just notice without judgment. Let's take 2 more rounds of breath. And then gently lowering that left foot to the earth. Keeping the cross in your legs, shifting your hips over towards the right side of your mat and placing them down, allowing the legs to drop to the left. So if this twist feels like too much for you, feel free to restack your legs so that right knee is on top of the left. If it's in your body, perhaps the left hand reaches down for that right ankle and gently pulls it in a little closer. Right arm comes out to the side. Perhaps you look over towards the right side. So these slower practices can be more challenging than our active practices because our mind begins to wander. This is a good opportunity to be present and mindful of what's happening right now. Maybe just checking in with your body, see where you feel sensations. Are you able to soften the hips? Notice what changes as you focus on the hips. All right, let's take 2 more rounds of breath here. And then whenever you're ready, bringing the legs back up, repositioning the back flat on the earth. We're going to come into a half happy baby or half straddle. So right foot comes up towards the sky, grabbing a hold of either the back of the thigh, the lower leg, maybe the foot or the toes. Send that right knee down towards the outside of the right side of your body, softening the shoulder. And then perhaps you extend the left leg long. Ooh, hey, everybody has blocks. I'm going to do something with blocks for shoulders later. I think, pretty sure. Notice if your mind starts to wander. like mine just did there for a second. Sorry, thinking about clocks. And then, without judging yourself, come back to the present moment. Be an observer, not a judge. And just watch what's happening. All right, so from here, let's release that right foot, extending both legs long on the earth. Take a minute here to notice what you feel, especially in the hips, the legs. All right, so let's place both feet on the earth, knees are bent, hugging the left knee in, activating the left foot. Where does it feel comfortable to send the left knee? And do you wish to extend that right leg long? Do you need to find movement here in this shape? And as you are in this pose, if your mind starts to wander, come back to noticing the pauses between the inhale and the exhale, and between the exhale and the inhale. Let's take 2 more rounds of breath. And then gently lowering your foot to the earth, bringing the right foot to the earth as well, if you haven't already. And left ankle crosses over the right thigh with an active foot. Draw the legs in closer, grabbing wherever's comfortable. Softening your shoulders, softening your breath, softening around the eyes. So maybe you place thoughts on a cloud. Maybe you try to focus on the pauses in the circle or the square cycle of breath. Maybe you connect to the body. Let's take 2 more rounds of breath here. And then gently lowering the right foot to the earth. Shifting your hips over towards the left side of the mat. Allowing the legs to drop to the right. Again, what do you need? Do you need to restack your legs, or do you wish to pull that right foot in closer to the waist? Allowing the left shoulder to drop down towards the earth, palm faces up towards the sky, perhaps looking to the left. If you can focus on softening the hips, you'll notice the legs start to shift. Sometimes it takes a little while, but after a little bit of practice, You can kind of do it almost right away. All right, let's take 2 more rounds of breath. And then allowing the legs to come back to center, repositioning the back flat on the earth. Left foot comes up towards the sky, knee is bent towards the left side of the body, half happy baby. Maybe the right leg is out long. So our yoga practice is not only about being present, but also allowing us to get to the point where we can calm the mind, maybe clear the mind as well, and time for meditation at the end. All right, let's take 2 more rounds of breath here. And then extending the left leg long, right leg long. Whew, notice the difference from one side to the other. All right. And then in your own time, rolling over to one side, whichever side is calling for you. Coming up to seated. Work on a little bit of shoulder stuff before we move on to more hip stuff. All right, shoulders. Some shoulder rolls. Inhaling, shoulders come up towards the ears. And exhaling, shoulders roll back and down the spine. Just moving with your own breath. So shoulder issues can be a couple of things. Tightness in the shoulder could be tightness in the chest from rounding forward, sitting at a computer, maybe arms are out. Yeah, there's other reasons too. Okay. All right, so let's bring the hands, fingertips to the shoulders, and then make some circles here in the elbows. So going the opposite direction, shoulders or elbows come down, back and up. Could be tightness in the back. Notice what you feel as you move through this. Do you feel something in your back? Let's go the opposite direction. Or do you feel something in the chest? Maybe you feel it in the chest going this way. So one more time here. All right. Releasing the arms. We're going to come into eagle arms. If eagle arms is not in your practice, you're going to bring both hands to your shoulders. So eagle arms, right arm comes out in front, left arm comes over top. Bending at the elbows, maybe the backs of the hands come together, maybe you wrap the hands. Allowing the shoulders to soften. Elbows come up to shoulder height, hands come away from your face. Take a few rounds of breath here. All right. However you're seated, if you're in easy seated pose, crisscross applesauce, stay where you are. If not, making your way there. We're going to find an inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale, hinge forward, coming down with a flat back. Soften the head. Allow the arms to hang heavy. Notice what you feel in the backs of the shoulders. Inhale, slowly coming back up. We're going to send the elbows down towards the chest, hands away from the face, tuck the chin. Notice if there's a stretch along the back of the neck. Shoulders sometimes can be the neck too. Gently releasing the arms. Find a few shoulder rolls here. And then switch the cross of your legs. And we'll find eagle arms on the other side, or maybe you cross opposite way with hands on the shoulders. So left arm over top, left arm comes out, right arm comes over top. Finding whatever variation feels best for you here. Softening the shoulders, elbows to shoulder height, hands away from the face. Being present with what you feel. Inhaling to lengthen the spine. Exhale, perhaps you hinge forward from the hips. Allow the head to hang heavy, allow the arms to hang heavy. Notice what you feel. Slowly coming back up. Dropping the elbows down, hands away from the face, tuck the chin. Where do you feel it on this side? Gently allowing the head to come back to center, release the arms, find some shoulder rolls. All right, we're gonna do a 2-in-1. Feet come together, bound ankle or butterfly. Maybe you find your sits bones by rocking around. You always have the option to bring a blanket underneath your hips to help you sit up nice and tall. All right, so allowing the knees to soften. And then from here, ready? We're gonna bring the hands behind us, clasp the hands, shoulders roll back and down the spine, send the heart up towards the sky. Slight bend here in the upper back. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you start to fold forward. If it feels like it's too much folding forward, maybe you send the feet away from you a little further as you start to fold forward. Still feeling a stretch here in the legs. And if it's comfortable, sending the arms up towards the sky. Slowly making your way back up. Releasing your hands and shaking out your legs. All right, let's come down onto the front body. We'll come into a baby cobra. From here, let's start by first stretching the right leg out long behind you. Point the toes, stretch the leg out, and then place the right foot to the earth. Same thing on the other side, point the left toe, stretch the leg away, and then place it down to the earth. So we create some space here in the low back. We'll bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Shoulders roll back and down the spine. Tuck the elbows, lift the heart. I feel like we've done a lot of back stuff this week because I can feel it in this pose. Finding your breath. Taking deep inhales and long, slow exhales. All right, gently lowering here. Let's find a Sphinx pose, forearms to the earth, elbows are underneath the shoulders. Shoulders roll back and down the spine. Still pushing the feet down. Push the forearms down into the earth to lift. Imagine that you're able to draw your arms in closer towards your chest, send the heart through. Can you quiet your mind? Gently coming back down towards the earth. All right, so maybe it's baby cobra or full cobra or Sphinx pose, sorry. Any of those that feel good for you. So full cobra, we're gonna bring our hands more towards the low ribs. Shoulders roll back and down the spine, tuck the elbows, push into the earth and lift. Unshrugging the shoulders, stretch those legs away. So we're targeting the chest just in case that's the issue. Front of the body. Two more rounds of breath. And then gently lower. All right, two things for the shoulders here. First one, we're gonna bring we'll start with left arm so you can see me better, if you can see me. Left arm comes out to the side. We wanna make sure the arm comes out straight from, the hands are coming out straight from the shoulder, so nice straight line. All right, you're gonna go only as far as you feel comfortable. If you've done this with me before, you know I'm very particular about it because I have had sore shoulders from pushing too far. So you're gonna turn your head towards the right side, place the ear on the earth. Right hand is on the earth to help you start moving. Maybe you tuck that right knee in, almost as if you're cuddling something or, you know, someone, teddy bear. Okay, and then if you want to start rolling over a little bit more, maybe that right foot comes to the earth, knee is bent, knee points up towards the sky. Perhaps that right foot steps back behind the left. Only go as far as you feel comfortable, just a little stretch, not a lot in this pose. And then maybe this right hand reaches up and back behind you towards the low back. All right, notice, are you trying to hold yourself up somehow? Any muscles that are turned on? See if you can sink and settle into this pose. Make sure to back out if it feels like too much. Notice your thoughts. Trying not to engage with them. Just notice that they're there. And then allow them to go. Let's find 2 more rounds of breath here. And then you're going to come out the opposite way from what you went in, how you went in. Oh my goodness. Okay. You know what I mean. All right, let's roll over onto the front body. We're going to come over to the other side. Right arm comes out long. Check to make sure it's coming out straight from the shoulder. Some people say up or down. This kind of depends on where it feels best for you in your body, but this feels the safest. Okay, so maybe it's cuddling your teddy bear on your left side, drawing the left knee in. Perhaps that left foot comes to the earth, knee points up towards the sky. Maybe that foot comes behind. Maybe the left arm reaches up and back towards the low back. Taking deep inhales, long, slow exhales. Finding 2 more rounds of breath here. And then slowly making your way out. Gently rolling over onto the front body. All right, we're going to come into a Sphinx pose, and then we're going to kind of change it up a little bit. So same thing as before, stretch the legs out long behind you, place the feet down towards the earth. We'll bring the forearms to the earth. But what you're going to do here is you're going to walk the left hand away. So you're going to come up onto the left hand. You're creating space underneath the left armpit. And then you're going to take the right hand and thread it under, thread the right arm under, kind of like when we thread the needle, tops of the feet push down to the earth. And then slowly start to come down onto that right forearm. So maybe you tuck it underneath, not forearm, the right arm, right shoulder. Maybe you tuck it underneath your body. The more you kind of come to center, the more of a stretch you will feel. Forehead can come down onto a prop, maybe a stacked fist in your left hand. Taking deep inhales and long, slow exhales. All right, so we're slowly going to bring that left arm out in front, maybe kind of slide it towards you so that you can push into that arm to unravel the right arm. Come into Sphinx pose once again. Reset your back, reset your legs, stretch the toes away. Walking the right hand forward to create space under the right armpit. Left arm scoops underneath, palm faces up towards the sky. If you send the shoulder away from your face and you've got it tucked underneath your body a little more, it's more of a stretch. Or head comes down wherever's comfortable. Softening the right arm as well. Okay, and then whenever you're ready, drawing that right arm close to you, right hand close to you, push into the right hand to unravel. Coming down onto the earth, let's bring the hands underneath the forehead. Legs come out long. And then let's bring the feet out wide on the mat and pointing the toes out towards the sides. Softening your back, softening your hips and your shoulders. Let's find 2 more rounds of breath. And then you're slowly going to make your way out, come into a tabletop and into seated. I'm just going to check real quick. Once you come up to seated, does everybody have 2 blocks? Give me a thumbs up if you have 2 blocks. Heather, do you have 2 blocks? Yeah. Okay. Jenny has 2 blocks? Yeah. Okay. All right. Here's what we're going to do. It's kind of like a supported fish. And then we're going to try some things with the arms. And we're going to do a meditation while we're at it for, time's sake. Okay. So we want to bring the blocks onto the earth so that there's going to be a block going down the center of your back. You want it up like this. Okay. And then there's going to be another block that's going to go where your head's going to go. You want it like this. So lower, possibly. Okay. So block where the head's going to go, block where the middle of the back's going to go. You want it between the middle of the back, between your shoulder blades is what I'm trying to say, not like middle of the back, but between the shoulder blades. Okay, so then we're going to come over to our blocks. You may have to make a little bit of adjustments as you come down to find a comfortable place where to place everything. It's hard to tell when we set up. So you're going to come down so that the bigger block comes between the shoulder blades and your head comes down to that lower block. If this feels like it's way too much in your body, feel free to switch the way this higher block is so that it's kind of flat on the earth. It won't go right between the shoulder blades, but it will be good. And then remove the other block that goes under the head. So legs. Legs can be knees together, feet apart. Maybe legs are in a reclined butterfly, or maybe legs are out long. So our arms, our palms face up towards the sky. So you can experiment here a little bit with where you want your arms to be. Maybe they're down by your side. Maybe it feels good to bring your arms out into a T shape. You can even try cactus arms. Oh. Maybe you reach the arms up overhead. Where does it feel good in your body? And check in with your back. You want to make sure that you're able to soften your back. If it's too much to bring your hands up somewhere, then bring them back down. Taking deep inhales and long, slow exhales. All right, so I say we're going to do meditation through this, but know that if you need to come out, you certainly can. You're going to bring your arms close to you and use your hands to help you come up. Tuck the chin in first and then slowly come up. And then make your way into Shavasana or whatever shape feels right for you. Returning again to the sensation of your breath. Noticing the pauses between the inhale and the exhale. The pauses between the exhale and the inhale. So for the next 5 minutes, we're going to practice a Vipassana meditation. So I've actually done this with all of you before. I think maybe I didn't tell you what it was. All right, so in our Vipassana meditation, we try to not engage with any thoughts. So if it helps to focus on one thing, focus on one part of your breath. Maybe it's one of the pauses. Maybe it's the inhale or the exhale. And as your breath cycles through, you just wait until that part of your breath comes back again. Your mind, however, is going to want to go to other places, which is completely normal. We have monkey minds. We can think of so many things all at once. It's hard to be present in the moment and focus just on one thing at a time. So when something comes up, acknowledge it, label it for what it is. Whatever is distracting you, it can be a sound, a smell, a memory, a sensation in the body. Try not to identify what it is. You hear a sound. Try not to figure out what made the sound. Just label it as sound. And come back to your breath. Coming back to the breath. Maybe you notice if there's a difference in your breath from the beginning of our practice to now. Be an observer without trying to control anything. Can you take this presence with you from your mat into the world? There will be times when you are required to think about the future and to plan or maybe remember something from the past. But you can always come back to the moment of your breath and return to the now. So finding some small movements here in your body. If you are still in this supported fish pose, you're going to walk your hands up to slowly help you come out. Tuck your chin in towards your chest. So wherever you are, rolling over to one side and then slowly making your way up to seated. Once you get there, lowering or closing your eyes. Bringing your hands together in union. Our yoga practice means union, or to yoke, to come together, union of the body, the mind, and the heart. So thank you, everyone, for coming here today together in union to practice. May you go in peace, love, and gratitude. Have a beautiful evening.